Welcome guys to Bass and Banter. Today we're going to be talking about some of the lure categories that fishermen use out here where I live. So I'm not going to cover everything in this video. I'll make a part 2 if I need to. Let's get right into it. So the first thing we're going to be talking about is a couple of topwater baits. The first thing I want to talk about is a buzzbait. Now, the one I have chosen out to be my favorite out of my collection, which is fairly limited, is the Guggen Hummer buzzbait. You see it's got a golden blade. It is the bluegill color. This is a 1/2 ounce. So, the thing I really like about this buzzbait is why I don't get the most bites on it. What I mean to say is I don't pull in all the fish on it, but I'll get bites. So the good thing I really like this topwater for is locating fish. I'll run it over brush piles and stuff to figure out if there are fish there in the early morning. Usually they'll strike it, especially in ponds and in smaller lakes where there are lots of bluegill. So I really like this Guggen Baits Hummer. The next topwater we're going to be talking about is a lot of anglers' favorite topwater to throw. Very popular. We're going to be talking about a frog. I prefer a poppin' frog. I feel like they get more action. They'll get more bites. Same thing as the buzzbait. They kind of just get bit for me. They don't really pull in the fish like a lot of other people do, but it's still a good fish locator. So the one I really like is the Spro poppin' frog, and I'll add a picture there. But it is just a tiny frog. You see the size compared to my finger. It's got 2 hooks. These are made in the USA, and they're made very quality. These usually aren't going to get any water in them. I saw there that was the white color, and I also have a black color. I'm pretty sure the white color is literally just called white, but the black color I think is called Midnight Walker. Yep, Midnight Walker. See, they got the red eyes, they got the poppin' mouth, silicone skirt legs. Nothing to complain about. They'll find you fish. Could catch them, you know. But for me, I generally don't get very many bites on topwater. So those are the topwater baits we've talked about so far. I would highly recommend one. I don't really have a rod preference when it comes to topwater. It depends what I'm trying to catch, of course, how big fish I'm expecting to catch, and what I'm throwing, depending on if I need a lighter rod to be able to sling these little lightweight frogs out there, or if I'm going to sling out this giant buzzbait. Now, guys, we're going to get moving down into the water column. We're going to start talking about a chatterbait. Now, this one's going to be kind of controversial to some people. I'm going to go ahead and just say it. I believe that the Z-Man original chatterbait is the best chatterbait on the earth. This color being an Okeechobee craw color. This is a 3/8 ounce bladed jig. Yeah, it's just your classic. I mean, they catch bigger than average fish. They catch a lot of fish. Yeah, like I said, this is the Okeechobee craw color. The downside of these, the original chatterbait, see, Z-Man also makes a jackhammer, and they have an added option that you can get a colored blade with the jackhammer. With the original chatterbait, they're going to be all the silver blade. That's the only downside I can think of. Color selection's not very limited. They have a lot. So, just a great lure to be using. And I'll go ahead and mention the rod that I'm using for it right now. I'm using the Johnny Morris Platinum Signature. It is a 6'9", 10 to 20 pound recommended line weight, medium heavy power, and it's a fast action. I freaking love this rod. I was lucky enough to get one given to me by one of my dad's friends. Because there's no way I could have afforded this just buying it. I have it paired up with an Abu Garcia Revo X low profile bait caster. I love this freaking thing. Paid for this thing in full. It's a great combo. I would hate to lose it. It's been a lifesaver in so many situations. So, that's the Chatterbait. That's what I'm throwing it with. Oh, and another thing worth mentioning, I have this just on straight braid right now, which a lot of people are going to frown upon that. But I have to say, it's never affected me any while fishing. I usually catch fish on just straight braid. So there's like 1 or 2 times that I'll say, okay, I need to take the braid off, re-spool this with some monofilament or fluorocarbon. But most of the time, I'm throwing straight braid on everything. It doesn't really matter what it is, especially topwaters and chatterbaits and crankbaits and stuff like that. I don't really think the fish care that much. It doesn't affect them to me. Other people may swear by fluorocarbon because it's invisible, but I don't feel that way about it. So that's been the chatterbait. Now we're gonna move into a crankbait. So now, guys, we're gonna be talking about my cranking setup. What I use as my cranking rod is a favorite Army spinning reel, and that's going to be backwards on camera, but it is. That's just showing you. It comes with the 2000 series reel. I prefer spinning over casting for crankbaits. Something about it. I feel like especially this spinning reel and rod, I can get that right where I need to. I can get that bait right where I need to. So now we're going to be talking about the actual bait I'm using, which is the Strike King KVD 2.5. It's a square bill crankbait in the sexy shad color. Let's see, it's got those red eyes, 2 treble hooks. Those hooks never go dull. It's one thing Strike King does amazingly. You gotta love them. Okay, now for the specs of the rod, which are kind of important if you're trying to replicate this setup. It is a 7-foot rod. This one happens to be a 2-piece. I didn't choose it. I wanted it in a raffle, so I figured I might as well put it to good use. Line recommendation is 12 to 20 pounds. The power is medium heavy, and the action is fast. So, this thing's a great cranking rod. I love it. I have no problem getting in those bigger fish. The only thing that was scaring me a little was this light line, but it was all I had, so I had to throw it on there. I freaking love this thing. Wouldn't trade it for the world. Now, guys, as we move into the end of this video, we're probably getting towards the most popular lure ever made to catch bass. And that is, of course, going to be jigs. So here, I have the same jig. This one I've trimmed. Give it a little bit more finesse. Give it a smaller profile for colder months. And this one is a full skirt, just like I bought it from the store. Now this is an Arky, let's see what it is, Arky Rattleband Bass Jig. And they're the same size, same, like they come from the store. I just trimmed the skirt on the white one. So this is the white color, and I don't remember what this color is called. It's a very dark green, and it's got some red and blue speck in it. I think it's called Christmas Tree. I'm not for sure. No, but these are the type of jigs, especially the head-wise, that you want to be using. That flat head that you want to be using whenever you're skipping jigs. They have a really good hookup ratio. They have a very stiff weed guard on them. So, yeah, they're very, very nice jigs. And the really good thing about them being a really nice jig is the price point. When you're paying $5 for some of those other jig brands, it's pretty dang intriguing to pay $2 to have basically the same jig. Right, you heard me, $2 at Walmart. I'll show a picture of the package over there. Yeah, find these at Walmart. They're $1.98. If you buy them online, they're $1.56, which is just incredible. You really can't beat it. Now, jigging rods, something heavy, I don't know. it doesn't really make too much of a difference. You could throw a jig on the Johnny Morris Platinum Signature or the Favored Army. It doesn't matter. Just get something heavy. Get some good heavy line, preferably braid, if you can. Tie a leader. I don't care. Do whatever anyone else tells you to do. But nope, nothing about a jig. Just throw it. Always keep a jig tied on. Keep a jig in your hand. This is what a lot of people like to say. You got to get a little confidence with it. A lot of people don't like them. I do. Like I said, there's great all-around, all-year lures. Imitate a lot of different things. You can swim one. You can hop it on the bottom. You can drag it on the bottom. You can skip one, pitch one, punch one. You can do a lot of different things with jigs. Watch some other videos on it. Might make a video later on about jigs. But yeah, jigs are awesome. Alright guys, as we move into the end of this video, I appreciate y'all for watching. Make sure that if you're still here, you hit the like button. Try to subscribe, please. It would mean the world to me. Trying to get this channel to grow. If you want more fishing content, probably daily through the summer, subscribe to this channel. I'll catch you guys in the next time. Peace.